Glory be and mercy me, we've done it yet again. Walk around the graveyard. Look at these guys. Look at these guys. These are mushrooms hanging on the side of the tree. Isn't that flipping cool? Like, look at the size of this tree, and then there's these huge mushrooms just here. Isn't nature a beautiful thing? Right? Isn't it nice to be out in the natural environment, right? That's the number one reason why I like doing these walks around the graveyard. Because it's nice to get out into the natural environment. No cars, right? You're as separated from all of it as you can. You can actually hear the birds, you know, all of the wonderful kind of stuff. The second reason, of course, is that it's always good to remind us that we're temporal creatures, right? Like, we're temporary refugees in this situation that we're in. Just went and voted for the election, communist, obviously. You're welcome, Drew Garvey, my local representative. Hopefully he gets more support than he expects, right? That's my hope for him. Because we are in a position right now where we are being abandoned completely by the ruling class. That's the Conservatives, the Liberals, and the NDP have completely full scale, just totally like lifted up their hands and been like, oh well, what are we gonna do? Full scale abandonment at this point. So we need to be finding new ways to actually articulate that abandonment and articulate our disgust at the system that's destroying us. And what's the way it's destroying us most obviously? Climate change, right? We have this delusion inside of our mindscape that in our collective consciousness that, oh, we're clever people, like we're a clever species. What we're gonna do is we're gonna create technologies, right? We're gonna create technologies, and those technologies will get us out of the climate change problem. Look, we've got the electric car and carbon capture technology, right? I found something out the other day. It blew my brain, just like I went. One of my regulars, I run a live stream 6 to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Monday through Thursday. Please come on in, right? Like, share, subscribe, hit all this stuff. If you care about leftist voices, right? Maybe care about me. I found one of my regulars came in and told me, hey, John, did you know we're running out of sand? Did you guys know we're running out of sand? Right? This I immediately was like, no, that sounds silly. The Sahara Desert is full of sand, right? We can't possibly be running out of sand for construction purposes, right? One of the main ingredients in concrete is sand. I always just assumed that people were just like shoveling sand from wherever, like sand. I get sand everywhere. I can't get rid of sand fast enough. But apparently, you need a specific kind of sand, right? The kind of sand that exists in like riverbeds and in the bottom of bogs and things, right? Because those have an angular kind of quality. Desert sand is too wind blown, so you can't use it, right? You can't use the desert sand to build concrete with. And so, because of the mass expansion that's happening throughout China and India, and all of the building that's actually happening, turns out we're running out of sand. One thinks, hey, maybe we could solve that problem with some kind of technological discovery, right? One thinks that, hey, maybe we could find a process that actually uses the desert sand, you know, the sand that we have almost an infinite amount of. Perhaps we could use that instead. No. Sure, we're looking into it, but right now, no such process exists. If we can't figure out how to solve the problem of the sand shortage, we are certainly not going to find a technological solution to climate change. It is a certainty that that is the case. Not that the capitalist class is actually interested in solving this problem. I mean, take a look at the idiot we're electing here in Ontario, Doug Ford. One of his first acts when he came into power was to destroy all of the climate change initiatives, 700 climate change initiatives that were put in by the previous government, and were effective. We literally had a 95% green, renewable, clean emissions system, which now has increased. Our emissions here in the province under Doug Ford has increased by 400%. And given that he has literally no plan to replace the soon to be failing power plants here in the province, emissions are going to go up shockingly over these next 4 years, right? Grab hold of the people who are around you and make a plan for yourself, because you have been abandoned. There's no other way to describe it. The idiots who are voting for this mass destruction are like sycophantically grinning about how pleased they are to spread the suffering in the society that they are spreading. They're happy to be destroying the place. We've been taken over by complete and total psychopaths, and the historians of the future, should there actually be any, the question they will be asking is, how did the society turn on itself so effectively? How did we so efficiently turn on ourselves to destroy the place, not only for ourselves, but also for our children and our children's children yet to come? It's a good question. It's a good question. I'm more or less tempted to say that the bottom of it is just stupidity. That's all. That we're too stupid to realize how serious a problem this is. And the powerful, the psychopaths who own the oil systems, galvanize that stupidity in order to make money for themselves. Money, of course, being something that doesn't exist, that we created in the first place, right? So we're literally playing a game with a little made-up monopoly money that we're treating as more important than the actual air we breathe, the water we drink, the land we stand upon. This is how childish and moronic we are as a people. And the whole time that we're doing it, we're standing there saying, yeah, but we're smart enough to solve this with technology. Not gonna happen. At this stage in the game, we need a war economy. We need an economy that seizes control of the means of production, that seizes control of industry, that seizes control of the economy, and says, we are going to reconfigure this in order to drop our emissions, in order to stop polluting. It's the only thing that we can do now. We're not intelligent enough to do anything else. And frankly, we should begin by incarcerating the people who lied to us about the problem, you know, the leaders of the fossil fuel industry. We should begin by incarcerating them. We should remove any control from these psychotic bankers, from these psychotic financial institutions like HSBC. Recently, literally, the fellow's title was the head of responsible investing, saying, just admitting outright that they don't think about things past like a 6-year loan plan. These people don't care about actually structuring the society in a way so that it's livable. They care about exploiting and extracting as much wealth as they can out of us in order to jam it worthlessly into offshore accounts while they burn the entire system to the ground. We're such a pathetic people. I think the thing that stuns me the most is how this obvious betrayal of the populace is happening, and we're not surrounding people's houses. We're not going to Doug Ford's house, which you can find online. We're not going to Justin Trudeau's house. We're not going to these people's living places and surrounding them. the homeless aren't gathering en masse, especially as Doug Ford here in Ontario creates more homelessness, especially amongst the disabled. We're not doing any of that. We're just bowing our heads and going, yes, sir, to a system that's obviously gone psychotic. You don't need to follow the rules of a system that's abandoned you. You don't need to follow the rules of a psychopath class. You've never watched a Robin Hood movie in your life and said, well, Robin Hood should just follow the rules, right? If Robin Hood followed the rules, imagine watching Star Wars and just saying, hey, you know, Luke Skywalker, he should just follow the rules. If he should just follow the laws of the Empire, you know? If he just listened to the Empire, everything would be fine. Yeah, wait until Disney starts churning out shit that it actually does say that. You wait, it'll happen. We have to surround the halls of power. We have to come together as a people. Millions of us need to come together as a people and actually gather en masse surrounding the halls of power permanently. We don't have another alternative. I'm not saying this from a place of ideology. I'm not saying this ideologically. We literally have no other alternative. Our systems have become corrupted. The people who are supposed to be actually defending the idea that we survive climate change are weak and stupid and ineffectual. They're disinterested in solving the problem. We have no alternative when faced with a system that has delegitimized itself as effectively as this system has delegitimized itself, but to surround the halls of power en masse and keep it that way permanently. There's no other alternative. And until we do it, until we incarcerate these overt psychopathic criminals, until we actually grab hold of the wheel of this out-of-control car that's careening towards a cliff, that we're just going to go over the edge. It's as simple as that. We have to stop polluting. The world is more than capable of healing itself. We have to actually acknowledge that the world created us and the garden that we were born into in the first place, and we're going to destroy ourselves because you didn't earn it. You didn't earn it. We're very stupid. All right, this will be the end of this one, guys. Like, share, subscribe, send it around, tell people I exist. YouTube's doing everything it can to suppress the algorithm. New information about Bill C-11 is showing that the Trudeau government is doing everything they can to revoke our charter rights, right? All this kind of crazed fascistic nonsense that's happening all around us all the time. If you don't tell people that leftists exist, then they don't know that leftists exist. It's really that simple. And I got a Patreon down below. Donate even $1 gets you into the Discord, right? We're trying to organize. Right now, we're basically a solidarity movement because we're too spread out across the country. We're trying to find local connections. We're trying to localize. We're trying to do these things. But the left has been so utterly destroyed by the fascists that have taken over the country that we're building from the ground up. We're building from the ground up. Always remember, guys, you're a quantum being living in quantum energy. The billionaire class is spending hundreds of billions of dollars in the hope that you'll never realize it. You'll just stay the good little commodity they need you to be. Rebel, revolt, repent. Good luck. We're gonna need it.